Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Chris Hall, your host, and this is my show. This is my underground garage pirate podcast, uh, talking about health, holistic health, nutrition, detoxification, spirituality, fitness, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. Hope you're doing fantastic. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for tuning in. We are doing another 10-day transformation cleanse. The last one just ended last week, and went pretty good. Went pretty amazing. I lost about 8 pounds, um, which was pretty awesome. I wasn't doing the cleanse for weight loss. I was doing it just for uh, just general detoxification, just a general cleanse. But one of the perks, one of the side effects of doing it is losing some weight. So I was happy to have that. A couple other people who did the cleanse, a couple of them lost around 13 pounds, so that was pretty incredible. So good for them. And yeah, overall, it was not a bad experience. 10 days, 10-day transformation, and yeah, I was happy with the outcome. It was it was pretty funny by day 6. My bowel movements, my poop. We're gonna do some poop talk. Um, Turned almost black. It was like I was calling it newborn black tar baby poo. If you're a parent, if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about when you have a newborn and those first turds that come out are like a black, almost like a tar. Really, really creepy, really strange looking. And I was starting to get that coming out my rear end. It wasn't like mucoid plaque or anything. It wasn't thick or ropey, anything like that, but just the color of it was very dark, and got to tell you, it didn't smell great. It wasn't smelling like roses, so it was a definite sign that my body was really getting out some deep impacted stuff that had been up in there for a long time. So that was awesome to see that coming out, and yeah, better out than in, right? So that was interesting. That was kind of cool. And the food cravings, they came and went, but it wasn't too bad. Um, you get a power shake that you take 3 times a day on the cleanse, and so that was pretty satisfying. And I actually really grew to like the shake quite a lot. So that's definitely a product that I'm gonna continue using. It's just packed with a bunch of greens and um, like wheatgrass, alfalfa, spirulinas in there, a bunch of other stuff. So super healthy, super nutrient dense, and I'm going to continue taking that. I really like the flavor of it. Some people are like, "Yeah, it's disgusting," and some people are like, "No, it's great." So luckily, I was one of the people that didn't mind it, and I actually look forward to drinking it. So I'm definitely going to be doing another cleanse here, and we actually are doing another cleanse. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So we're doing another one starting February 25th, which is today is what, Monday the 18th. So 1 week from now, next Monday, we're starting up another 10-day transformation cleanse. So if you want to join, send me an email at rawfoodfootsoldier@gmail.com, and then I'll get back to you, send you the details, send you some information about the cleanse. I'll send you a couple videos that kind of explain what it is and what's going on. So you can reach me that way if you want to do it. I'd say order um, your cleanse no later than probably Thursday or Friday, so you have it by Sunday, because we will be starting on Monday the 25th. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Uh, so I wanted to take this episode as an opportunity to talk about something that I don't feel is being discussed in the greater health, holistic, spirituality, new age community. Um, Something that yeah, I'm not hearing too many people talk about. Actually, not really hearing anybody talk about it. maybe a few select individuals here and there, and I don't want to come across as an alarmist or a pessimist in this episode, but I want to just focus more on the reality of things, because I think a lot of people can get um, kind of glazed or glossed over, uh, focusing a little bit too much on just an optimistic attitude, kind of an unrealistic view of the world. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm all about, you know, spreading love, the good message, being optimistic. I'm all for that. But I think you can get lost going down that road if you become too far right brained. Um, you can again kind of get a view of the world that's not real. It's not reality. Um, Again, I'm all for being optimistic and spreading the good word, and trying to project a future, a manifestation, a world that I want to see. But sometimes that's not living in reality, and that could be a dangerous place to live. So let me see, what's the best way that I can explain this? And I'm, guilty of this myself, but I see a lot of people out there preaching, health and, spirituality. Um, I hear a lot of people throwing around the phrase that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and I get that. I understand that, but I think the problem is that they're expecting the universe to take care of us, or that everything is going to work out. Hear a lot of people saying, like, and I've said this too, that there's a collective consciousness, a global awakening taking place. Things are changing for the better, and I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think that is a self-made projection, a self-made prophecy based on nothing more than uh, optimism, hopefulness. But is that based on reality? Could that be a dangerous way to look at things if you're not actually considering what's actually taking place? Again, it's all good intentions. It's all coming from a place of love, but is it based on reality? I don't think so. A lot of people, myself included, feel like there's a shift happening. We've got, just talking from a food perspective, and um, we all know the environment's got some major issues going on. But we're like, oh well, the whole plant-based thing, got all these different dairy options, all these different milk options. Got all these new fantastic um, meat substitutes. And so people are like, oh, the shift is happening. Look at it. We've got all these things are happening. Everything's changing and shifting. But if you look at the reality of things, excuse me, if you look at the reality of things, I just looked at a statistic that 0.5% of the population is vegan. Let me say that again. 0.5% of the population is vegan. And I think just a little over 2.75% is vegetarian. That is minuscule. It might as well not even be anything, because that's not changing anything. And I'm all for the compassion. I'm all for the veganism, but the overwhelming evidence of the global warming, the environmental pollution, the dead zones in the oceans, the deforestation, just the animal agriculture and the factory farming is happening so quickly at such a global scale that 0.5% ain't going to make a difference. As excited as we're getting about the Beyond Burgers, the Impossible Burgers, all these different nut options for dairy, it is not happening fast enough, folks. I hate to bust your bubble, but again, I'm not trying to be an alarmist here or a pessimist, but we got to face reality. We got to look at what's really going on and stop living in this false projected world that everything's going to be hunky dory and it's going to be okay. Because again, that could be a dangerous place to live because it's not based on reality. And it's awesome to spread the love and be optimistic that way, but we got to come to grips with reality. I don't know what is I could be wrong on this number, but just the obesity rate, diabetes. What is it, like 2030 or 2050? Half the population is going to be diabetic. I think like what is it? 50% of the population is obese now, and the numbers are climbing. They're not getting better. That's another thing too. If you immerse yourself in the spiritual health community, on social media, everything looks great because we're all talking about the same thing. We're all trying to be positive and put out a good vibe. So that's what you're constantly going to see. But if you take a few minutes and step out of that reality and look what's really going on in the world, it's pretty fucked up. It's a dark place. And I think that's why it's dangerous when people can get stuck in that false reality because that's all they see. That's all they want to see. And that could be a dangerous place to live. So what I'm getting at here, what I wanted to talk about was, what's the point of going through, the detoxification, eating a super clean diet, um, going through all the health rigmarole, trying to get, the body in a pristine condition. What's the point of doing all that? What's the point of doing all that, getting super healthy, if at the end of the day you can't protect your body? What at the end of the day you can't dodge a fucking punch? I'm talking about survival here. I'm talking about self-preservation. Going through all this trouble to take care of your body, the temple. But when it comes to it, can you really protect this temple, protect the body? So much emphasis and work went on to getting it clean and, have the engine purring. But when it comes down to it, are you going to be able to protect it? Again, if you're a spiritual being having a human experience, you are borrowing this body, right? This is your property. Can you protect your property? Do you have the skills to protect it if you get involved in a confrontation? So what's the point of cleansing and worrying and fussing about all the health, holistic health, if at the end of the day you can't dodge a fucking punch? You can't take care of that property. I think that's one of the missing pieces that nobody's talking about. There's a whole holistic view of the physical, health, diet, fitness, and all that stuff, spirituality, getting the right mindset. But if you take a step back, pull the lens back a little bit and get a broader view of a holistic lifestyle, there's got to be some real application skills to protecting that property that you worked so hard to fix. that you worked so hard to get clean, to detox, to get spiritually connected. It's kind of pointless to go through all that if you don't have any basic, I'm talking survival skills, some technical combat skills. Because here's the problem, folks. I think we in this community, this health community, again, like I was saying, kind of living in a false sense of reality because we think it's going to turn out this way, or we hope it does. But in reality, I don't think it is. Again, not to be an alarmist or a pessimist, I want to be optimistic. I have children. I want things to turn out right. I want things to turn out okay. But the data is not reflecting that. The statistics aren't reflecting that. So I got to get honest and real with myself. Am I going to be able to protect myself, my property, protect my own, protect my family? What am I doing to move in that direction? Because odds are this shit's going to go sideways, probably sooner than we think. Again, with the obesity rate, diabetes, all the health issues that are going on, the global warming, the healthcare system is going to collapse on itself. The economy is going to collapse on itself. The environment's going to collapse. It's not looking good, folks. We have to wake up to the reality of what's going on and kind of stop daydreaming about this futuristic spiritual world where we're all sitting around singing Kumbaya. As much as we want it, I'm starting to lean more towards, I don't think it's going to happen. Because when you step out of that community and look at the world for what's really going on, it's not looking good. So I think to complete the holistic lifestyle, once you've got the nutrition dialed in, once you've got the mindset dialed in, then you really need to start focusing on self-preservation. So what is your contingency plan in case this shit goes sideways? What's your backup plan? What's plan B in case this hippie-loving futuristic world doesn't work out? Have you even thought about it? Even considered what that might look like? I mean, you don't want to get caught with your yoga pants down, do you? You want to have some skills in your back pocket. Do you know any martial arts? Have you ever fired a gun? Do you know how to start a fire in the wilderness? Do you know any basic first aid? I think that is hugely overmissed in our holistic health community, the detox community, whatever you want to call it, community, the new age community. Nobody seems to be talking about this because we're all just hyper focused on this beautiful world that's supposed to be unfolding. So I'm here to say no to that. You need a backup plan, contingency plan. What is it? What's it going to be? Again, have you thought about one? Do you have one in place? Do you have bug out gear? Do you even know what that is? Do you have an escape plan? What about natural disaster? Do you have anything set in place for that? Any rationing? Any water supply? Weapons? Because I tell you what, if this stuff does not go the way I hope it does, and everything goes dark real quick, believe you me, I'm going to do what it takes to take care of my own and my family. And I guarantee everybody else is going to do that too. What do you think is going to happen when the healthcare system crashes and all those people that are on medication need more medication, you don't think their friends and family are going to go out and do what they can to protect their own? They'll probably do just about anything to get their hands on that medication. It can get dark real quick. So I'm just saying, have you put any thought, anything in motion to start protecting yourself, protecting your property, that temple, that body that you worked so hard to get pristine?